Right now, Tropical Storm Arthur is dumping rain in the East Coast, and it made landfall in North Carolina as a Category 2 hurricane. Luckily, the damage was minimal, but the threat of the storm caused many people to cancel their travel plans or just head home early from vacation. This is just the start of hurricane season, and here to talk to us about what to do if severe weather impacts your plans is Kimberly Schwinn from AAA. And thank you for being here today.
No problem.
A lot of people traveling this summer, so we need some good tips from you and some good advice. First of all, I want to mention this. I've got some great deals on flights and some all-inclusive resorts during hurricane season. What's your advice about that? Because they drop those prices a lot.
They do drop the prices because, you're taking a gamble. So if you are going to travel to places where hurricanes hit, the Caribbean, on a cruise, Mexico, anywhere that you could experience a hurricane, you can get some great deals. But again, you are taking a gamble, and you have to keep in mind that, as you monitor the forecast up to your trip, if you do decide to cancel because you're afraid that a hurricane may hit or it's forecast to hit, you could incur penalties with the airlines and also with your resort. So you really need to know ahead of time what those penalties would be if you do decide to cancel.
Ask them ahead of time to see what the cancellation process is, and if it's a week before, how much do you get back, or if it's 2 days before.
And this is when it really pays to work with a travel professional, because if you do have a plan, say you're going to an all-inclusive resort in the Caribbean and a hurricane were to be hitting that area, you could work with your travel professional and maybe switch your travel plans versus if you book it online and you're kind of stuck.
And hopefully lose less money. That's the whole goal.
Exactly.
All right, what if your flight's canceled?
And this happens all too often. And what we see is, even if a hurricane's hitting along the East Coast, we could see a trickle-down effect of flights being canceled across the country. So this is where, there's really not a whole lot you can do if your flight's canceled, but you really need to continue to monitor the situation and check with your airline before you get to the airport. It's also a good idea, if you can, to pack everything in a carry-on bag. That gives you some more flexibility if your flight's canceled.
Right. I had a flight canceled, and they said, do you have a carry-on? Because we could just bump you on the next flight. You don't have to worry about your bag, so it does help out. What about cruises? I know a lot of people are going to be cruising this summer.
Yeah, the good thing is the cruise ships do not want to go into a hurricane, so they're going to try to navigate around it. But if a hurricane were to hit around the area where your cruise ship was supposed to go, it could impact your itinerary. So you need to continue to monitor the forecast and check with your cruise line before you go to see if there are any changes in your itinerary.
What's your advice on travel insurance? Should people get it? Is it worth the money?
Well, travel insurance, general travel insurance policies don't really cover acts of God or natural disasters like a hurricane. So, that might not be the best idea if you're thinking about canceling for a hurricane. But certain travel vendors will offer cancel anytime policies that you could purchase at the time of your trip. So you need to look into those, and that's where, again, you can work with a travel professional. Some of those you'll get a credit back for future travel, and some you will get your money back. So they're all really different. So it's good to talk with a travel professional and see what's best for you.
Okay, and you have some tips for traveling after the storm.
Exactly, things that you may not think about. You really need to talk with your hotel or resort, call them and say, not only are you open, but are the amenities open? Is the pool open? Any golf courses?
If they had damage, right.
Right, is there going to be construction while I'm there to repair the damage? What if I'm not happy with the accommodations? Can you route me to a different place, or can I cancel? So those are all things that you really need to ask and really dig into it so that you know what you're getting into when you get there.
All right, thanks for these tips. Hopefully it'll save some of our viewers some money who might be traveling coming up here soon. Thanks again.
No problem.